Hi, I'm Chris Haig and this is the Fiddle Channel, and today we're going to play Kashmir by Led Zeppelin. So, in this lesson I'm going to show you step by step all the different parts, and to be honest there's a lot of different parts, so this is by no means an easy tune to play. I'm going to show you different approaches to the different parts, and that will depend on in what context you're playing this. At the end I'm going to attempt to go all the way through the tune, and finally I will set up a therapy group where people can sit around in circles and explain to one another why they thought it was a good idea to play a piece like this on the violin. So we're going to start off with the iconic riff that starts off at the beginning, which turns out to be in 6/4 time. So you could count to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what we're going to do is a D, open D with an A underneath it, play both together, so it's 1, 2, 3, da, do, do, da, and then it's second finger on B flat, second finger on the B natural, and then a third finger C against the D. So let's just go through that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you may notice I'm doing a chop, which I find immensely satisfying. It's worth doing the whole piece just for that chop in this case. So if you've never done a chop before, don't try and do it now, but go refer to my video how to do the chop, and that'll explain all. But basically it gives a really solid, satisfying thud. But you can just leave a silence there if you want. So we go through that once, and then the next line starts off bafflingly with a high version of the same lick. And then you can either do the lick again, or you can attempt the melody. But let's do the lick again and up an octave. So now we're starting off with a D, a high D over a D, and then a open A over a D, a B flat over a D, B natural, and then we've got this little lick sandwiched at the end, which you can either leave to someone else or you can do it yourself. So you're doing 1, da da da, ba do do da do do da. So that takes a bit of following at first. So let's just take it from the beginning up to there. Okay, now at this point we've got into the first vocal line, and it's at this point you also have to decide what are your motives for learning this tune. Are you going to do it solo? Are you going to do it solo in your bedroom, or are you going to do this with a backing track on stage, or a backing track busking, or are you playing with a Led Zeppelin covers band, or are you, as I am indeed, waiting for that call one day from a rubber plant to say we need a violin on Kashmir because we're going live. So that's how you have to decide now what you're going to do. So we got the melody line, which goes something like but to be honest, that is a really naff melody line for a violin to play. And of course wouldn't tell this to Robert Plant, but that's the way some people approach this, by playing that vocal line. And without vocals and without words, to me it doesn't make any sense. So either you try and do that, or you go straight into some kind of solo. And the best solo violin version I've seen of this is 3D Various, and you should check his version out. And he more or less goes straight into a solo there. And that's what I'm going to do, because I think that line really doesn't work. So what kind of solo can you do? I think mostly around D minor is the place to be. D minor blues scale possibly. Let's just see what that's going to sound like. Now underneath that came what I call the link, which is there's actually various different versions of this. The first version, which I'm going to do, is this is in kind of 8/4 time, which is fairly easy to follow. The original backing for this is a kind of a keyboard line, and I think it does it slightly differently on different times. So the second version that I do of this is a bit more accurate, I think, which is when it comes to that, you can either play that lick, or you can solo over that lick. After that we go to something similar to the beginning, but instead of starting here, for some unknown reason it starts on the second part. So we're going, and we're missing out half of the first bar. So it's a 4/4 and then a 6/4 and then another 6/4. This was prog rock, and nothing should add up to 4 or 8 or 16 in prog rock. So you have to assume that's the main reason why. Then we've got the either the solo or the melody again, and then the link again. So let's take it up to there from the beginning. Okay, so we went a little bit further. We did the solo, we did the link, we did a C section, which is the one that starts half a bar late. Then we did, and incidentally, as we were doing the link, I'm doing it in parallel fifths, which is quite nice. The last time that link comes, it's got a little lick that leads into the next solo. And then it goes to A major. This solo, it's got a really difficult lick underneath it, which you may want to learn. So let's try that lick. It's in 4/4, but it doesn't feel like 4/4. Let's just see if we can get that. So then, actually, you can. It may be worth learning that, but if you're just going to think of it as a straight 4 and solo over it, that's by far the easiest thing to do. And the 3D Various version, he makes up his own much easier lick to follow, a heavy rock lick that goes underneath it. And again, you have to decide, why am I doing this? Is it to absolutely recreate the original, or is it to do something doable? And I did actually once consider doing this with my trio, with not my trio, the trio I play in, with guitar and double bass. Had we gone ahead and done it, we would have definitely done a simplified arrangement, and we wouldn't have used that lick, I don't think. But anyway, so I'm going to do a solo over that lick. So it's going to be a kind of a Phrygian, or in klezmer terms, A Phrygish. Or you could think of it as a mixolydian. With the odd B flat in. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, so we do that solo in A, we do the link twice, and then it goes to G minor and A for another solo. For this, you can either treat the whole thing as A again, the same scale, but make sure you don't start on an A, start on a G note. that kind of scale, and this is a fun one, and it doesn't have a distracting lick underneath, although there is a string part, an actual melody, with a string section playing it, and I haven't written this out because I think this is such a nice thing to solo over. Unless you were going to play in a string section doing this, I would solo over this. So let's just have a little go at that. So that solo, which I very much enjoyed, as I say, you can either stick with the A mode, or you can do a proper G minor and a proper A7. And if you've got a lot of echo, then going really high is great. Stuff like that often sounds terrible when I play it, but with a lot of effects on, you can't really go wrong. So then it's round the opening lick again. It's back to the beginning and through most of the arrangement back to the single C, and then it's the G minor A solo again, the link again, finishing on a single link. So in the unlikely event that you did actually decide you were going to perform this, you'd have an awful lot of learning to do. And if there's a band, then even more so, because one of you will be playing one arrangement and the other will be the arrangement that you were fighting over in the studio the last time you did it, and the other member of the band will be playing the one that you all agreed originally that you were going to play. So anyway, quite a challenge, and as I will be setting up this therapy group so you can examine your motives for playing this tune. I'm going to finish off by attempting to go from the beginning to the end, and the situation I envisage is myself playing this solo in the Albert Hall in front of 3,000 people, and the Albert Hall slowly or perhaps rapidly emptying as we go through the piece. So I may fade out if there's only the caretaker before I get to the end. But here's hoping that the whole 3,000 will stay and applaud me at the end, but who knows. I hope you enjoyed this. I can send you a copy of the dots if you like, and I'll see you again soon. so I do hope you enjoyed that. You're probably aware I do have a rock violin book which does not include this tune, and a online Music Guru's rock violin course. So you can learn everything that I know, which apparently is not very much, but I hope you will learn some of it, and see you again soon.